Morning on DC News Now. We're starting off with those temperatures into the 40s and 50s, but right now low 60s in the district. We're noticing that haze to the sky out there right now, and that will likely continue through the day today. But as we look at towards the next few days, more of the sunshine returning, and I'll have the latest look at that 7-day coming up.
Also coming up this morning, disturbing new details about a woman's death in Prince George's County. What prosecutors say a mother and daughter did to the family's grandmother in the days after allegedly murdering her.
And crime on the rise, how DC's mayor is responding as the city nears 100 homicides so far this year.
And D-Day 79 years later, how the world is remembering the invasion of Normandy decades after its impact on World War II.
The station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
All right, it's 6 o'clock on this Tuesday morning. Almost said Monday. We don't want that.
Thank goodness.
Good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. I'm Corey James.
Good morning. I'm Tanaya Wright. You're getting a Chili's proposal now for that one.
I would rather die 1,000 lives.
All right, we're gonna. Oh man, so no Chili's, but we were just saying how good it is, Jackie.
It is.
The food's really good.
The food is really good. I'm already starting to crave the chicken crispers at this early hour. But as we take a live look at the Kennedy Center in DC, you can't quite tell, but in the sky again, we're tracking that hazy look to the sky at this point. That's associated with the Canadian wildfire smoke, and through the day today, we'll continue to notice that lingering through the afternoon and into the early evening. So don't be surprised that the skies look a bit more filtered yet again. We did see this yesterday evening, so this is more of a continuation through the day today. Also could be dealing with it for at least a colorful sunrise again on Wednesday morning. Temperatures though out there right now, bit of a cool start. 40s, Winchester, Martinsburg, Woodstock, Luray, Culpeper, Manassas as well. Just jumped back into the low 50s not too long ago at Frederick, but we're low 60s in DC. That's the warmest spot on our map. Winds relatively light right now, 3 to 5 miles per hour. These will pick up later on this afternoon with this cold front that will be diving its way southbound. Those winds likely 10 to 15 miles per hour, a few gusts right around 25. But we could be seeing a stray shower with that cold front sliding in. But highs today back in the 80s, and how long will the 80s stick around? Of those details for that 7-day in just a couple minutes. Shanika's here with the all-important look at those roads. How's traffic?
All right, so we have a few issues out there on the roadways. We're starting out on 95, heading northbound right near the Quantico exit. You did see crash activity. It looks like VDOT is trying to get a better picture of what's happening now. It looks like they've cleared that up. So let's flip over to the maps, looking at the rest of your ways. Everything is all A-OK through Dumfries, Lorton, Woodbridge, Springfield, and the list goes on. So a lot of green out there, and that's how we like things. Over to 66 heading east and west. Just watch for some delays through those eastbound lanes right near 234. The rest of your roadways, you are going to see some on and off delays on the top side of the Beltway, the inner and outer loop stretch. And then we also have a crash in southeast. This is off of 695 right near 11th Street.
All right, Shanika, thank you. Your time right now is 6:02.
That is right. A quick look at your Know and Go headlines this morning. First up, a mother and daughter in Prince George's County are accused of killing the family's grandmother. Police found human remains in the basement of the family home in Landover. Prince George's County State's Attorney's Office says the victim's body was dismembered. Candace Craig and Celia Hardy are now being held without bond.
And this morning, investigators are still looking into the deadly plane crash in southwestern Virginia. The crash came after the plane illegally entered D.C. airspace, prompting U.S. jets to intercept. In just a few minutes, we'll tell you more about the mother and daughter on board the flight that crashed.
And Metro is getting ready to roll out new reduced fare program for both bus and rail. The new Metro Lift program will offer half-price rides to people who qualify for SNAP benefits. Metro says it will start enrolling riders 2 weeks from today. All right, well, we have new details this morning about a gruesome murder in Prince George's County.
A woman allegedly killed and dismembered by her daughter and granddaughter, and police believe they found her remains over the weekend. DC News Now's Lex Wars is live at the home where they say this all happened, and Lex, the details of this case just get more disturbing.
Yeah, that's right. It's a case that's stopping everyone in the tracks, and it poses a challenge to investigators as well. 44-year-old Candace Craig and her daughter, 19-year-old Celia Hardy, are linked to the murder of 71-year-old Margaret Craig. Well, the mother-daughter duo are alleged of dismembering Craig at their home here in Landover and storing the decomposing remains in the basement. Police visited the home last Friday for a welfare check on Craig. Whenever her daughter, Candace, let them in, they quickly smelled and found the remains in the basement. According to WTOP, Candace Craig killed her mother because she accused Candace of credit card fraud. The court documents obtained by WTOP say that Celia Hardy found her grandmother's remains in plastic bins and then helped her mother dismember her grandmother. The documents then go on to say that the two tried to dispose of the dismembered parts by putting them on the grill and in a bonfire in the backyard. Well, this horrific attempt at hiding the remains poses a challenge for the medical examiner, who has yet to confirm the exact cause of death or that the remains are Craig's.
But in this case, which is unlike any case I have ever seen or experienced here in the county, I mean, to say it's disturbing is an understatement. It's horrifying.
Well, police believe that the murder happened on May 23rd. Candace Craig is charged with first-degree murder, and her daughter, Celia Hardy, facing an accessory charge for assisting in the dismemberment. Now, both Craig and Hardy are being held without bond. The next time they are set to be in court for their preliminary hearing is on July 3rd. Live in Landover, I'm Lex Juarez, DC News Now.
All right, thank you, Lex. We now know some of the names of the victims of that plane crash that happened in Southwest Virginia.
Yeah, officials say that private jet illegally traveled into D.C. airspace Sunday and led the military to scramble fighter jets to intercept it. Now, two of the people who were killed in that crash are luxury real estate agent Adina Azarian and her 2-year-old daughter, Aria. Azarian worked for Keller Williams on Long Island in New York. An email sent to the company's employees says she was known for her dedication, professionalism, and warm spirit. And we're also learning new details about the crash this morning. The FAA says the crash happened off Blue Ridge Parkway near Augusta County, Virginia. Investigators say the pilot became unresponsive on the way to New York. However, the reason for that is still being investigated. And authorities are also working in Montebello, Virginia, trying to piece together exactly what happened and why.
Investigators say they'll be digging through the wreckage of that plane over the next couple of days. Now, they say they will also be looking for a black box or a flight data recorder. Officials say the black box was not required to be on that plane, but there is the possibility it may have had one. They say they are also looking for any other equipment that could help them get some answers.
The airplane, the engines, the weather conditions, pilot qualifications, the maintenance records, all aspects will be, of course, items that we routinely look at. We are here not only to figure out what happened, but why this happened, to prevent future accidents from happening.
NTSB's initial report is expected in about 10 days. Officials say the final report that contains a probable cause of the crash can take up to 2 years. And as we mentioned, the military scrambled an F-16 fighter jet and authorized supersonic speeds to catch up to that private jet. Now, that was the boom a lot of people heard across our area. A spokesperson with the National Security Council said, while it may have been shocking to people on the ground, it was the right thing to do.
What I saw was just a classic textbook response to, in this case, what was an unresponsive pilot, an aircraft.
Maryland.
They had to turn on the speed to get to him. They did exactly what they were supposed to do.
Once the jet did catch up, the military pilot attempted to communicate, but the call did not get answered. Developing now, police data shows crimes continue to rise here in the nation's capital. The data also shows every major crime is up from this same time last year, including homicides.
And the district is now closing in on its 100th homicide this year. We had the chance to speak with Mayor Bowser about her plans to combat this trend. Now, Bowser says her crime bill can be part of the solution. It has been presented to city council members and has stiffer sentences for violent crimes. It also increases penalties for people who have illegal guns. The mayor is calling on council members to act soon.
I have identified what I think are some gaps in our law that I've asked the council to consider. I'm telling you what we need, and we can't do it with one or two hands tied behind our back. We've identified gaps, we've sat down with all of our partners, and we need some action.
The mayor hopes council members will take the bill before recess, which is July 15th. A public safety committee hearing on it is at the end of the month.
And stretching your dollar this morning, if you rely on Metro to get around the DMV, you know just how quickly the cost can add up.
Yeah, and very soon there's going to be an option to bring that price down for you. DC News Now's Joseph Olmo is live in the newsroom this morning on the details that could potentially save people a lot of money. Joseph.
Yeah, Corey, a lot of money indeed. You know, Metro says nearly 500,000 people in the entire DMV will benefit from this, a 50% discount from getting you from point A to point B. And it's really easy. As long as you are already enrolled in SNAP food benefits, then you qualify for this program. Take a look. Metro is calling it Metro Lift. You can start enrolling for it later on this month on Tuesday, June 20th. And again, whatever the normal cost to ride is, whether it be Metro Bus or Metro Rail, for those enrolled in this program, it'll be 50% off. So say you spent $100 a month normally on your Smart Trip card to get from point A to point B, now it's going to be $50. That is some pretty big savings, especially for people who are in a financial pinch. All you need to do is show proof that you are already part of the SNAP program and you are good to go. And guys, of course, this comes at a time when ridership on the DMV's largest transit system is finally rebounding after taking quite the hit during the darkest days of the pandemic. Last month, for example, just on the trains, the average daily ridership, again, just on trains, was upwards of 300,000. Reporting here in the studio, Joseph Olmo, DC News Now. Back to you.
All right, Joseph, thank you. Your time right now is 6:10 on this Tuesday morning. Former New Jersey Governor Christie is expected to launch his presidential campaign tonight in New Hampshire. Now, Christie says he is the only candidate willing to take on former President Donald Trump. It will also be the former governor's second presidential bid after losing to Trump back in 2016. Now, taking a look at the frontrunners this morning in the Republican field, right now they are former President Donald Trump, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley. The polls still show Trump leading, and sources tell our network, News Nation, Trump's former Vice President Mike Pence is expected to announce his bid tomorrow. All right, your time.